Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's time for our Facebook Live. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday, but Robert and I had a webinar to attend yesterday, and it was right at 1 o'clock, so I just switched days, so that works okay. Well, we're going to I said all week we were going to do rainbow cards, and this one is so much fun. So I thought you would enjoy it, and it's not too hard. We're going to use up lots of scraps here. Just pick some rainbow colors that you like, and we'll get started. Now I'm using these note cards in envelopes. So this is a little smaller than our regular size card base, but it still can go in the mail, so that's not a problem. So we'll go ahead and fold that, crease it. I want to make sure we get it lined up nicely. Sometimes these pre-creased ones are not perfect, but that one seems pretty good. So that'd be our card base. I think this is like 5 by 3.5, maybe, something like that. My paper is metric here. Exactly 5 by 3.5. It was the 3.5 I wasn't so sure about. So we're going to layer on here. So we're going to use a piece that's just a little bit larger. Oh, that's pretty close there, but I think we'll be okay. And after we create our card front, we're going to run it through the cut and emboss with this new set of dies that's going to come out in March. And these are called Textured Notes dies. So each die has a different little texture, like bamboo, little, looks like a woven, some little zigzags, just some interest. And so the first card I made, I just cut it the size of that I wanted, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute, I have these new dies and I think they're perfect. And actually this one is just right to fit on this 3.5 by 5 note card. So that works out pretty cool. So I am going to tape this down just carefully because I need the lines. I could be taping it down on my glass mat, but I think this one, I like these lines here, and maybe it's not so slippery. Now I'm going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and then I'll probably switch to Tombow, and you'll see why. So I'm going to do just maybe 2.5 rows of tape. And we're going to start with Azure Afternoon. And that's going to be our starting color. So that's why I need the lines. So once you get the first one lined up, hopefully all your others will be fairly straight. Let's see. That looks pretty good. So that's our Azure Afternoon. Then we'll switch to Granny Apple Green. I was thinking when you see our final card that you could do this with some earth tones and have a more masculine looking card. I don't know, but I like the rainbows, and that's what we're going with. Now we're going to switch to Daffodil Delight. This is not true rainbow order. It's just a pretty color order, in my opinion. Now we're going with Pumpkin Pie. And then we'll go with Real Red. Now see, I don't have Stamp and Seal there because I didn't want to go past that mark, and there's no way to know exactly how much you needed there, so that's why we put a little bit of Tombow for that last one. And now we've got our little rainbow on the side of our card. I can save these to use on another card. And then we'll just kind of trim that down. Put that in the trash can. Now, if you're here today and it's not Monday, if you'll give me a thumbs up or something so I'll know whether the video's working. Robert's out goofing off today, so he's not my computer guy. So I'm still going to line that up there so I can put our die on here. I think I better use that tape just to make sure I'm keeping it straight. Put it right there. And we want to get that a little white showing on the edge there. And we'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. That'll give a nice finish to our layer. That's tight. Now you might want to run this twice because you're going through all those layers of cardstock. Make sure you get a nice cut. See how that gives a nice, fun little texture on there? It's kind of cute. Just a little more than if you just cut it without the texture. Now we're going to take our heart die. Now I realized you could do this with a, if you had a larger card and then a larger heart, but I wanted this smaller. And we're only going to cut out at here because we're going to do a positive, negative. A little bit higher there. And we'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. to make sure we get our tape off. And now we have this heart that were left over. So I'm going to have to figure out what we can do with this leftover piece. Okay, so now we've got our card front. Get that little bit of glue off of there. And we need to fill in over here. So we're going to fill in another heart here, but we need to create our little heart. I think we better go with this direction. So this time we will start the other color. Instead of starting with blue, we'll start with red and go backwards. And this time we are going to go ahead and use Tombow because it's easier. So we'll start with red, and we'll just line that right up to the edge of our white paper, our cardstock. If we don't get it perfect, we can trim it if we have to. Oop. And then we'll go back with orange. Now these are just 1/4 inch pieces. This orange looks a little wider, but it doesn't bother me. And we'll go with yellow. I think that one's long enough. Need a little more. And then we'll go with green. And then our blue, our azure. We need a little bit more Tombow. Snip that off. And now we're going to cut, we're going to line this up at the red and just cut half of a heart. All right, we're almost done. I can trim that little piece off there. Now look how cute that is for your card. I can't think of anything that make me happier than a cute rainbow heart. Now we're going to stamp a sentiment, and I chose, could be anything. This is Mixed Labels, and I put You're Pretty Wonderful. I think these are new. They're going to come out in March also as an online special. Now, if you could do this happy birthday, you could do thank you, whatever works. Any sentiment you want. right, now when we put this on our card front, we're going to put it on with dimensionals. So it gives it a little more texture and layers. I like to put more around the edges, and then just a few in the middle. I think we'll put one there. And now we need some on the back of our heart. And little piece down there towards the bottom. Now, to me, this is the hardest part, is getting it to the front of the card fairly even. It can be tricky, because when you use just Tombow, you have a little wiggle room. When you use all these dimensionals, once it's down, it's down. I think that's all of them. Let's see, sometimes to me it's a little easier to do it the card super flat. That looks pretty good. Of course, we got to have some bling on here. So I pulled out these metallic discs. I really think they might be retired, but they had the colors I wanted, so that's so I went with red, and a blue, and a green, but anything that is in the color family here would work. Isn't that a pretty quick little card? Not too difficult to make. I think we finished it in like 20 minutes. How's that? How do you like it? I love the new dies. They're going to be some of my new favorites. If you have any ideas what to do with this, I guess you could put it on the inside, couldn't you? Why not? Well, maybe we'll do that. Put that on the inside of our card and a sentiment over here. All right, thanks for joining me on a Tuesday. I plan to be back next Monday, but we'll wait and see what life throws at us these days. That's always nice that we have other days that we can go live. Thanks for popping in today, Jamie. I appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye.